Welcome back. Let's talk. Last week we understood a bit about various kinds of fears and anxiety disorders one might have. I mentioned that we will see more about those kinds of worries and anxieties and thoughts, concerns, which although may not be at a disorder level, still causes us a lot of distress. These worries and anxieties, even if they are not present all through the day, they keep surfacing now and then. We would immerse ourselves in our usual work and other schedules of the day and will not be aware of them for a while, and then out of the blue, they pop up again, sinking our heart. And as this continues for several months, sometimes even years, they would definitely affect the quality of our lives. It's like if at one point of time you were to ask yourself, when was the last time I just laughed out loud or slept like a baby all through the night or just felt simply very happy? We will think for a very long time. No? So it's like a slow poison. These worries and anxieties would contaminate our thinking. We also saw that usually these worries and anxieties center around two or three issues. The first one being the fear of losing one's job and fear of poverty. Then there is the fear of loneliness and abandonment. To what extent this fear can play on one's mind is that some people will be willing to stay on even in abusive relationships and hesitate to move out of those relationships for fear of loneliness. The other very common fear is about death and physical dependence on others, either due to old age or some health related issues. In order to handle these fears and anxieties, first we need to understand some of the things about them. Firstly, what is the nature of my fear? Where does it originate from? We need to ask ourselves these questions and, as far as possible, get clear and detailed responses from ourselves. For example, let's say my fear is about losing my job and being pushed into poverty. I need to understand from where this fear has originated in me. It may be because a lot of my friends or colleagues are losing their jobs, and I may also fear loss of my job. Or I may have had the experience of losing my job sometime in the past, and say it took me 2 or even 6 months to get another job. And I would have undergone a lot of stress, lot of anxiety, maybe even humiliation at that time. And my recollections of these may make me fear undergoing a similar experience all over again. Or thirdly, it might also be due to the fact that while I was growing up myself, I've had to experience poverty, either because my father didn't have a proper job or due to other reasons. And my fear originates from my thinking that my family, that is, my spouse and children, should not undergo such painful experiences. Whatever be it, in all of the above three situations, we see that what I basically have is a concept about being unemployed or being in poverty. And all my fears, my worries, and anxieties are born out of this concept or notion of unemployment that I have. Taking the first situation, as we saw, my fear originates from the fact that my friends and colleagues are losing their jobs and therefore I may also lose. But I have not had the experience of losing my job or living in dire financial straits myself. I have no actual or real experience of it, isn't it? That is, it's my concept of unemployment that gives me anxiety and not the facts about unemployment. We need to understand this very clearly. Let me take you through an example. Say a father was taking his 5-year-old child to the hospital saying, "You're going to get your polio medicine." And this child was crying all the way, and the father didn't understand why the boy is making so much fuss for polio drops. What the father didn't know was that in the boy's concept, polio was an injection. He was scared that it's going to pain a lot. The same child, when he was taken for his vaccination shots in the very beginning, smiling happily because he had no concept of what an injection would be and how it might cause pain. And you see, it's similar to how we responded to the word corona in the beginning of this year, say in January, and how we respond to it now. That's because our concept about this has changed, right? And also, just as how the concept differs widely for a person who's got the virus and came out of it very safely without even the mildest of symptoms, and for someone who lost a member of family to the virus. So similarly, most of the times our fears and anxieties are based not out of our real and actual experience about the things, but about our concept or notion that we have about those things. Let's take the second situation where, say, I have lost the job sometime in the past, and it was almost 6 months before I got another job. And my current fears are born out of those memories of that distressing period. So, where does my concept come from here? So, last time I was able to manage for 6 months, by which time I got a job. But this time, what would happen if it goes beyond 6 months? Isn't that from where my anxiety is originating? So, that is somewhere I'm having a notion that I can manage for 6 months as I did last time, but at the end of 6 months, or maybe even the next day, I would be in abject poverty, probably with nothing to eat or no place to stay. Again, what we are dealing with here is my concept of what will happen after 6 months, isn't it? So, my anxieties and fears are not born out of actual and real personal experiences of mine, but out of my idea about it. In the third option, also, I know that my siblings and I, although young, managed the bad economic situation at home. But now I have a notion, I have a concept that my children may not know how to manage, may not be able to adjust. And from that thought arises my fears and anxieties about unemployment, being jobless. So, what do we understand from all this? We need to first look from where my fears and anxieties originate from. Are they from real, actual experiences of mine, or are they born out of my idea, my concept, or my notion about that situation? The same thing would apply to fear of loneliness and abandonment. Have I been lonely before? Have I experienced abandonment before? If we think about it carefully, we would understand that mostly our fears are born out of our concept about it rather than my actual real experience of it. And when such a situation arises, we would just actually handle it at that time out of our inner resource, our inner strength, or support of loved ones, whatever. At that situation, we would handle it. Just as how that child who never knew what an injection was when got poked cried for a while, and then felt okay. But the thinking about what might happen, which is born more out of our notion of how it might be, is actually causing us so much more misery than even what we might undergo handling it. So, regarding fear of death and dependence on others, I don't even have to say that this applies, isn't it? For how many of us have had the experience of having died? So, what causes our fears and anxieties? Is it a concept or notion or ideas about some things, or facts? Facts about that situation, that fear. And how to understand these concepts and notions that I have. So, for this, we need to observe our fears and anxieties. We need to pay attention to them, know the nature of our fears and anxieties more. We need to basically observe them, learn to look at it, and make note of all the thoughts and questions and answers I get about those fears that I have. Of course, mindfulness meditation would help a lot in understanding and observing these fears of ours. And next week, let's see how to do mindfulness meditation also.